just one of them ones, man. You just in the car, man. It's like when you in the car, you just think about everything, man. Definitely when you by yourself and you just cruising on the highway, man. Yeah, this got me thinking.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions as they take on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, happy to be with you. And, Charles, we've got two teams who know each other extremely well. These division games, they tend to be battles.
People scout like crazy in this league, but no one scouts more than within the division. Because if you win your division, you're automatically in the playoffs. That puts extra emphasis on these games, and they can't wait to get at each other. Dan Bailey now to put the ball in the air, and we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And it'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. The former Georgia product leading out this crew in his 10th year now at the helm of the Lions. It's Matthew Stafford. One thing you ask for from your quarterback, improvement each and every season. You also ask for consistency. Matthew Stafford, 7 straight years over 4,000 yards passing. He's still looking for that initial playoff victory during his tenure, but I think that he's been leading them towards it and has a chance to get it in the upcoming future.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
To throw on second down is Stafford. And he's got his tight end. This is Luke Wilson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Stafford to the former Seahawk Wilson for Lions first.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Stafford on 2nd down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play, because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Lions had the fewest 3rd down conversions on the ground in the NFL in 2017. What will they do here on 3rd and short? They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
On first down, Stafford here. Jones has it. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Stafford on first down. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Vikings coming back out here on offense. It's been an interesting ride for them so far this season. It's kind of like the Patriots and the Texans and the Vikings. All three started slow, and now they're ramping up. Minnesota's won 3 in a row now, Charles.
You think they had a three-way conversation and said, guys, we're better than this?
All right, let's be contenders.
Let's get it up there. Well, how about this one now? They were 1-2-1, and their head coach Mike Zimmer told all of us media members, guess what, guys? We started 2-2 last year, went 13-3, so don't go to sleep on us at all. And when they beat the Jets this week, how about this for an esoteric stat? That's their first win over the Jets in 5 road matchups. So they've lost their previous 5 to the Jets on the road. They broke through this past weekend.
And now they're home for the Saints, home for the Lions, and then they have their open week. Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. 1st and 10 right at the 20. And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook, and able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. They'll run here. It's Murray. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. On the return, here comes Amir Abdullah. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 22. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And his throw here's incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was a target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
The anchor of this secondary is Harrison Smith, who was oddly named an all-pro safety in 2017, but just a Pro Bowl alternate who later did play in the game and had a pick 6. Metrics, they graded him out as the game's top safety in 2017. I call him the fixer. Wherever they need him on defense, they place him. Near the line of scrimmage, back deep, he makes plays.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. 2nd and 10, Stafford again. Catch made right side by Wilson. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The last play on the completion got him half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he locates Luke Wilson. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Here we go.
On first down, it's Stafford. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again. Stafford is going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
To the air again, Stafford. They find some open field here. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a first down throw. Stafford. He hits his target. It's the tight end, Torlolo. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Monday.
On second down, here's Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Vikings now heading onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. They begin the drive with a run by Murray. Spins past him. So he got free at one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. The tackle made there by Jared Davis.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Off the play fake, Cousins. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
That's caught by Treadwell. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Cousins able to connect with Treadwell for a Minnesota 1st.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone could have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On third down, Murray. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. So on 4th down, they bring on the Michigan man, Matt Wild, to kick it away. Back deep, Golden Tate. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Detroit coming back out here on offense, and this is a team who had the bye in Week 6. Week 7 last week, Charles. Nice win against Miami, 32-21, in what is becoming a very muddled NFC North.
Yeah, and a win on the road as well. Matthew Stafford playing much better since Week 1, 4-interception performance. Hadn't thrown a pick since Week 3 against New England, a win. Think about some of their wins. They beat New England, they beat Green Bay, just won at Miami. But how about the division? They're right in there. The Vikings setting the pace at 4-2-1. Green Bay's 3-2-1. Chicago and Detroit both 3-3. You can go from first to last and from last to first on a given weekend.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Out of the gun, Stafford. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the first quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. 3-3 our score. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And that is incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Back deep is Marcus Sherrills. That's taken on the 25. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's Cousins. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Thielen with his first catch, and it's a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. A handoff. It's Murray. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Don't forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Second down, Cousins. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. On 3rd down, Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Here's Matt Weil now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Lions. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now it's Stafford. It's complete to Golden Tate. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Stafford now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Tate, and he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him, and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. From the gun, Stafford. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jones. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An out cut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add, to pick up a 1st down.
I was going to say on 3rd down for the defense, it's one thing to give up a reception. You just kind of shake your head on a one-handed catch to pick up the 1st. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Sheldon Richardson with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Richardson, the former NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year back in 2013.
Yeah, just remember, this guy's talent is absolutely undeniable. And don't worry about his sack numbers. He's rushing from the inside most of the time, but he creates such havoc getting back to the quarterback, breaks down pockets left and right.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He's able to get 4 back on the run, but now they'll have to find something here on 3rd and about 14.
Now that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Third and long. It's Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37th. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing is Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
So they are going to call on Dan Bailey here. His career long is 56 yards done in Seattle. This will be from 56 yards out. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. Marching back out there, ready for the next possession. Here comes the Vikings defense. And they have been disruptive in the backfield. And how often when we see this, as we look at some of these highlights, is it just better players getting in there versus scheme that is defeating the offense?
It's a great question. And I think oftentimes we rely on scheme. We fall back and say, well, the scheme broke down rather than giving credit to the players making plays. But when the scheme does break down,
you're looking at oftentimes just being overloaded. Too many guys coming from one side or one particular area, then you can actually block it. You know, if there's 2 guys there to block them, they'll bring 3, and that 3rd guy will get through. So when you want to max protect there, meaning getting everyone in, your whole offensive line, your tight end, and your running backs, trying to make sure that you're never outnumbered by the defensive guys coming in.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Stafford on first down. That is incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position could get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Johnson. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st down, Stafford here. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. in for the score. And the Lions are in for 6. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Now Matt Prater for the point after. Extra point good by Prater. And the lead is now 10-3. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. Here comes Sherrills. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. Two minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They go play action. Cousins. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. On the return, it's Tate. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Lions will take over. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. On first down, it's Stafford. The left side completion to Jones. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a first down throw. Stafford. He finds Winnick complete. And before the second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. From the gun, here's Stafford. Incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
The Lions on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 8. Again, it's Stafford. And that is incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty. But there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field and try and get up and get it.
So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Left side caught by Diggs. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. The Vikings on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Now Cousins. And Diggs has it. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks for...
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Well, we got a second here. Let's take a peek around the league. What's coming up week 8? A couple big games as we near the halfway point of the season, Charles. I'm mainly looking at Philly and Jacksonville and London, and then New Orleans and Minnesota. That should be interesting.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Philly and Jacksonville, both teams struggling right now. The Eagles have already lost 4 games. They lost 3 all of last season. Both of those teams need to win in a big way. New Orleans at Minnesota, the Saints are on a heck of a roll right now. They've won 5 in a row. But the Vikings quietly have won 3 straight and seem to be getting their footing on defense again. And how about Green Bay? They had the week off this past week. Big win over San Francisco at home on a Monday night. They now head out to face the 7-0 Rams in Los Angeles. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that one. That is a big one indeed.
Aaron Rodgers, Todd Gurley. Let's do this.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And he's able to find Diggs. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. The Vikings 1st down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Cousins now to throw on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And it's second down. Well, Charles, pretty big piece of news around the NFL on Monday the 22nd. Dallas Cowboys, all to talk about them needing a big-time target out wide. They went and got Amari Cooper.
The speculation was there. The discussion was there. But then late Monday, as you noted, it became real. The Cowboys decided they needed a WR1 and went to Oakland and got Amari Cooper and gave up their #1 draft pick for 2019 in return.
What do you think of the fit there?
I think the fit is excellent. Dallas screaming for a wide receiver who can attract attention, stretch the field, and make big plays over the top. He can do all of that. He should help his quarterback, Dak Prescott, become an even better player.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Going deep for Diggs. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Matt Weil now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense,
got the lead. Yeah.
we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see the offense.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Out of the gun, Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And this is going to be incomplete. Pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. Here's Sherrills. A little juke. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Minnesota. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. First down. Here's Cousins. Wide open receiver, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. On play action, Cousins. Blitz coming, and down he goes. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Now Cousins. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Morgan. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Here's Matt Weil now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 20. Stafford. He hits his target. It's the tight end, Toilolo. And they're able to get this one across the 35. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And his throw is incomplete. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, we got a second here, Charles. Let's look back to some of those crazy finishes in Week 7 of the NFL last week. I mean, it seemed like every game had a wild finish.
It certainly did. Dallas, Washington, Brett Maher off the upright from 52 yards following a questionable penalty against his long snapper that moved the ball back 5 yards. How about Cleveland, Tampa Bay? Cleveland claws his way back in, and then Tampa Bay wins the ball game with Chandler Catanzaro kicking the big field goal from 59 yards in overtime. Remember, he missed a 40-yarder in regulation. Justin Tucker missed an extra point. That's the headlines in and of itself. His first miss in the NFL, and New Orleans gets away with a victory. And New England, Chicago. Chicago throws the Hail Mary at the end of the game. Kevin White, 54 yards. He needed 55. Stopped at the 1 yard.
I don't think I've ever seen a Hail Mary come that close but not get in. Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. A first down throw for Cousins. His throw incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, CD taking a peek at some of the injuries from around the league in Week 7. We did have a few. Quan Alexander on that Bucs defense went down with an injury. They'll be monitoring Sony Michel in New England. Now, remember, they already lost Jeremy Hill, Rex Burkhead out of that backfield, so a couple injuries to note.
Certainly, and Quan Alexander in the middle of the Tampa Bay defense, which was already struggling. They may not get him back the rest of the season. Sony Michel, they're hoping to get him back after a few weeks. Albert Wilson in Miami has made big plays all season long, has a hip injury. That could cost him some serious time, if not the season. LaShawn McCoy, Melvin Gordon, they're hoping to get them back in the upcoming weeks.
Yeah, interesting that they won without Melvin Gordon last week. That was a big win.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Cousins on 1st down. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route. and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that'll be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might
Still
have been
2nd
a
down.
little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. Cook following the penalty. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Credit the tackle to Darius Slay. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
3rd and long for Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. Let's see if we can drive the bus here again on this drive. Stafford on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now a handoff. Johnson. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good game before he's taken down. That one good for 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Look, the 1st down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a 1st down.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Good solid gain on first down. About what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's Sam Martin now. He's been terrific so far. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Cousins now on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Murray, and he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Calling a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance, but in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't it?
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still first down.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They run the counter with Cook, and he'll get this up only to about the 33. They get 1 yard back there to make it 2nd and 14.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. They run it again with Cook. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Here's Matt Wild now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. The shotgun snap for Stafford. To the right and complete to Galladay. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a 1st down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving? And that is going to do it
for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
1st down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On 1st down, Stafford here. And to the left side here, Wilson. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter, it's a good running back dive play.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. From the gun, here's Stafford. Caught on the right side by Jones. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion 1st down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game. But they were in what was really called 4-minute offense. And that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Cousins now after the fumble recovery. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Pass interference. Defense.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
All right, now here we go.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. On 2nd down, Cousins again. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Scoring has really been at a premium. And, Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. And their offense, too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up, an exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Here's Stafford, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
For a chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. To throw on 3rd down. Stafford out to the flat for Reddick. And he had a nifty little deep juke move, but he stopped shortly thereafter. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. With his guys trailing here in the fourth, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. The left side caught by Diggs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. First down. Here's Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 14 yards that time for number 14.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And Rudolph has it left side. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments, and right now I think this team needs to open things up.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And Robinson with a big catch. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Cousins now rebounding nicely after the interception. He's hit 4 straight to start the drive. It's 1st down. From the gun, here's Cousins. Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he's into the clear. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Prater on to add the extra point. Prater for the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. They have to like what they've gotten from him in this game.
Think about the accumulation of catches.
8.
The yards per catch now, because you're getting more than a first down every time he's touching the ball. This is the kind of game you want when you're able to throw it out wide.
Absolutely. Over 100 yards, has the 8 catches. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. The full start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Throwing is Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. And that's caught inside the 35. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one. 52 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. A first down throw for Cousins. And his throw here's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. A second down throw for Cousins. And this will be incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
Offense.
So pin that one on the rookie right tackle.
Remember those days when the right side was simply the run-blocking side? Now you're dealing with some of the better pass rushers in the league. It'll make you a little jittery.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters, as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Again, it's Cousins. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the one tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will close the gap down to 14. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still got to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. Now Abdullah, the return. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Stafford. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Second and 10, Stafford again. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a 1st down. A 1st down carry here for Johnson. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd.
Playing coverage here.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more on that one and another first down. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps for these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
On 1st and 10, Stafford over the middle, complete to Tate. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. They'll run it with Johnson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
And Anthony Barr just has it all as far as I'm concerned in terms of physique, athletic ability, and now he's versatile as well. When he came out of UCLA, he played outside linebacker, but also down defensive end. The Vikings could utilize the same sort of skills.
Now it's Matt Prater on for the Lion field goal try. This to make it a 3-score game late. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And out now come the Vikings. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Cousins. He gets away from 1. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Second down, Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Cousins to his tight end, Rudolph, for a Viking first down. Cousins on first down. And complete, right side to tight end, Rudolph. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Cousins again. And he fins him off. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll throw again. Cousins. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. To the air again. It's Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. Here's another failure right there on 3rd down.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. And here comes a big tight end as he gets set for this next drive. And a bounce back here for him after a slow start. And sometimes that's how it goes with tight ends. Those catches in their games, they can go in waves at that position.
And you get so locked into stopping them that you think, okay, hey, look at that. We've held him down. And the best ones, you really don't hold down for an entire game. They're going to get their catches. Your job is to keep them from being big-time catches that break you down totally.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Now, they may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They stay on the ground on first for Johnson. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Ben Gideon in on the stop. In the National Football League, Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility.
No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. From Minneapolis, so long, everybody.